it's recommended that you don't drink over 14 units of alcohol a week. Now, 14 units of alcohol is about 6 pints of beer, okay? And if you're saying you're going to the pub and drinking 5 pints a night, then you are about 6 times over the limit. Nearly, we could say maybe 5 times over the limit, because you're not having those 6 pints each day. However, the weekly limit is 6 pints, and I can't say that 35 pints a week is okay, you know. So that could be the reason for your stomach pain, okay? And now we gotta think whether maybe it's a little bit more deep rooted and it could be a food issue, you know, maybe an allergy. Do you have any known allergies, if you don't mind me asking? Okay, so you can't have gluten, you're intolerant to gluten, okay. And is gluten something that you cut out of your diet? Okay. Okay, so if you don't cut gluten out of your diet, then that could be a huge, huge issue. That could be the root cause of all of this, which obviously is not ideal, is it? Okay, right, let's do a quick allergy test, just to rule out the possibility of any other intolerances, such as a dairy intolerance or, you know, a sugar intolerance, things like that. So let's do a quick little allergy test, if you don't mind me asking. Okay, right. I'm just gonna sanitize the areas if you pass me your hand. Yep. Okay, perfect. Cool. Let me quickly do this test, okay? So, let me quickly, you bother me. Cool. Okay, cool. Right, we've just done a test for the 6 most common intolerances, food allergens, etc. So let's see what that comes back. Just bear with me 1 minute. Okay, right. So you do appear to have a dairy intolerance as well. So okay. Okay, right, so I'm gonna prescribe you some tablets that should help with your stomach pain. You should limit dairy, and you should also limit gluten as much as possible. I know it is hard to do that sometimes, but it is definitely something you should do. I think it could really relieve a lot of that pain. So if you can do that, if you can also stop going to the pub as much, because 5 pints a day is a little bit excessive. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you cannot do that. That is a decision that you have to make yourself. So if you could do that, I understand. Yeah, if you could do that, that'd be great. Cool. And now, before I prescribe this, are there any prescriptions you're taking at the moment, or any non-prescription drugs that you're taking? No? Okay, that is great. Okay, so I'm going to write you out a quick prescription. Right, so prescription. You can take this to any pharmacy and get it dispensed. If you could take these tablets once in the morning, once in evening. Try and take it at the same time each morning and the same time each evening, for the desired effect, you know. And take it with a meal. That is very, very important. You take it with a meal. It should not be taken on an empty stomach. So, do you currently eat breakfast? You don't? Okay, cool. Well, if you could try and get into the habit, you don't need to have a full English breakfast. It doesn't need to be a big breakfast. It could be something small like a banana, you know? Something that you can just have this tablet with. Okay, here is your prescription. I will sign out for you and I will date it. Cool. Cool. here's your prescription. Thank you for coming, and come back if the problem doesn't go away. Remember, stop drinking those beers. Anyway guys, thank you for visiting my doctors. I hope your issue is resolved, and I will see you very soon.